This is exciting. We have such a talented person in front of us today. Um, Actor, community activist. She does writing as well, and she is based out in Hollywood. So, Daphne Clark, welcome. It's such an honor to be in front of you. What's good?
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. It's a pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity, really, greatly.
Okay, so we're hot on Instagram.
Okay.
We're hot on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. So much to discuss. Where to jump in? Let's start with wardrobe. Could I flex for you? I went with the hat. And what are you wearing?
So this is my clothing brand called Omnipotent Armor that I released this year in March. Um,
Incredible.
and basically it came from just a lot of things I've been through in life and my faith in God and my spiritual connection with Him, and just armoring myself against the evils of the world. So when you put on this line, my brand, you feel like you can conquer the world.
Powerful.
Yeah.
What's it like being a female entrepreneur, a black female entrepreneur?
It's not for everybody. Let's just say that it is a lot of work. You think having a 9 to 5 is hard, but being an entrepreneur is 24/7. If you don't work, you don't eat. That means you don't make money, you can't pay your bills. So it is a definite challenge. It has been an interesting journey for me. I'm learning every day something new about the clothing industry, the brand, how to market, business, all that stuff. So, yeah.
Incredible. So let's go with your relationship with the arts and the motion picture industry, Hollywood. Can we get a brief introduction to some of your best and biggest works to date?
Okay, so I'm gonna take it back. Okay, so I'll give you the most popular, which is the Fosters, that everybody knows me from. John Henry as well. But I do have a new film coming out next year called A New Life that was written and directed by Choice Skinner. My acting coach, my mentor, my family, like he's just everything, the jack of all trades in the industry. He trained me as an actress. He's given me a lot of my roles in feature films, such as A New Life, Wingman Inc., um, Keep the Faith, just so many different films that he's done that he's included me in and given me that experience. So that has prepared me for roles like The Fosters and John Henry and opportunities like that.
I'm looking very forward to speaking with Choice. Can't wait. Can't wait. I can't stop. Whenever we speak, I've thrown like so many just like compliments his way because he's really talented.
He's, yes, super talented and very underrated. So his time is
Mm,
coming for him to really flex his muscles in the industry and show people who he really is and what he can really do. He has a resume and it's amazing work thus far, but he has so much that he has to accomplish. So, yeah.
great. Wonderful. So the Fosters, because I too know you from that world. What was that experience like? So what's the Fosters? Where did that actually air?
Okay, so it was on Netflix.
Right.
They took it off. It was a 5 season show. It's basically about an interracial lesbian couple that has a family of their own, but they also foster youth. And I played a 17-year-old juvenile delinquent with a 2-year-old daughter in foster care. So I was started off in the pilot as girl number one. I beat up the main character, Callie, and I got a lot of got a lot of feedback from that. People really did hate me in real life because they thought that I
Right.
was tough chick going around the world beating up people, and I'm like, guys, it's just a character. So then they brought me back a year later, and they wrote me into the show, and my name is my name. Daphne is just spelled differently on the show, and
Mm,
so I had this whole storyline. Just it was just a great experience just to be around such talent. And the character that I brought to that show was actually taught to me by my acting coach, Choice. He molded me for that role, and he told me that was going to be my very first role out the gate, and he was right. And it has put me on the map as that. So it was a great experience.
Do you prefer villain or hero? Or is there a preference? Like, do you even care? Because there are
Um,
some wild people. There are some wild people that really sometimes have a hard time, separating the character to the person, right?
right.
So
Um,
it can be annoying in your real life.
right. So I think I go towards villain because a villain is so complex, right? You
Mhm.
love to hate them. They play such a good role at it, but they have so many layers. You know what I mean? And so for me, having that type of character in my repertoire really kind of allow me to stretch myself artistically.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm more of a villain girl.
So, you know what? I'm really thankful to be able to sit down with you, Daffy, as I mentioned, because right now is a really exciting time in my career as a filmmaker. I have my first ever Kickstarter campaign going on right now. It's for what I believe to be the best movie idea I've ever come up with in my life. So I've been an independent filmmaker for a little bit over 8 years now. I'm very grateful and humbled with my success in terms of winning, some awards, going the entire circuit from East Coast to West Coast. Actually won Best Film over by Las Vegas. And so right now I have this next big thing. It's a franchise horror. It's, in my opinion, going to be the next great, like, iconic cult classic type of film, like a Blair Witch Project, like a Saw. So that's happening right now. And right now, as we speak, the first week we've actually accomplished our goal of the minimum we needed to make the movie. So this is like a successful campaign already with so many days to go to raise more funds. It's pretty incredible.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
So very good, good energy, good timing for both of us right now in our careers. That
absolutely.
we seem to be reaching the pinnacle.
Yes. For me, I think I'm transitioning into re-emerging in the industry and allowing myself to do other roles like leading lady and love interest and other roles that don't pertain to um, cornrows and toughness. So for me, it's just transitioning to doing other things that I'm able to do. Comedy, drama, action, all that fun stuff.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm hip. Huh.
So yeah, it's been a journey. It really has. I've been in LA for 12 years now. Got landed my first, I guess you would say, big role on the Fosters. Year 4, I was here, and it's been a roller coaster ride, good and bad. Um,
Can we? And if you don't want to talk about this, perfectly fine, right? But LA is looking wild right now with crime. Is that anything that you're thinking of right now, or do you find yourself having a lot of like content that's putting you in an atmosphere to be part of like a crime type of film? Like, do you see that merging into the art?
Uh, well, art imitates life. And I do think what's
Mm,
happening in the world and especially in LA, someone's going to write about it. Someone's going to come out with a film about it. It's very necessary just because LA is one of the hardest places to work and to get work. And just everyone is kind of going through their own thing. The traditional way of making it in LA is no longer an option. You have to be a creative and you have to create your own lane and your own opportunities, make your own films. That's why social media is so relevant now in the industry because they're pulling talent from social media. They want to see what people can create, and if they like it, then they'll run with it. So that's really big right now. And so I think LA is just a great place just to take what you're going through and put it into your art.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you thought about, so because you act, do you write as well?
Um,
Screenwrite. I know you do. I know you write in a capacity.
Not yet. I haven't tackled that beast or that talent that I may have that hasn't
Okay.
come out yet.
What about
Um,
producing? Have you started producing or directing your own stuff?
I'm in the works of doing that as well.
Okay.
Um, I the goal for me coming to LA was to be an actress. But then you get here and you learn that you have to be more than that. And so for me, it's finding the behind the scenes position that I can cultivate and make my own. So I'm dabbling in a lot of things right now. I am writing my own one woman show that I was supposed to do 5 years ago, that never saw the light of day. But I have a lot more experience now. I have a lot more to write about. I have a lot more to put into it. So I think the timing was just a little bit off. So again, what you go through, you have to put into your art. So that's what I'm looking to do as well. All that, produce, direct, write. I really need to get into all of that.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think, Daffy? Do you have any questions for me? Any thoughts? Have you seen my work? Have you seen Boston to Philly or any of my trailers?
I've seen a couple of them. I do like your work. I think you being a fan of mine and I'm being a fan of yours is great, just because we are networking. You know, Issa Rae always says, don't try to network up, network across. So I think you're in a great position in your career thus far, creating your own material, which is great. I'm not too far behind. It's a process and it doesn't happen overnight. So for me, I'm just learning from everyone, because that's part of the game too. You can't just dive into something you have no idea about. You have to really research and kind of look at other people's stuff and say, okay, you know, I'll take this from that and this from that and piece it together and kind of create your own. So that's what I think being an artist is studying other artists and seeing, you know, their artistry and then what you can create from just learning from them. So that's what I do. I study a lot. I study the greats. I watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of series. You know, I'm always learning how to be a better actress, a better artist, a better person in life. So it's just important to be able to network with people. I know the world has kind of isolated all of us, but we have to get back to having that community of coming together and helping each other with what we are trying to do and what we're trying to create in the industry. You know.
And do you ever, like, in terms of kind of everyone, and I always bring this up because, like, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. You're gonna run into haters. There's adversity. There's gonna be this, like, people that are seemingly negative or kind of try to stop your shine. You know, have you ever come across that in your career thus far? And what have you done to overcome it?
Oh, well, my mindset has always been there's no competition but myself. And I feel like everybody can eat. And me blessing someone is only going to bless me tenfold. So I don't look to anyone as a threat. For me, for anyone to be a hater of mine, haters still watch you. Haters study you. They may hate you, but they're always watching what you're doing. And so you're doing something right. My mother always taught me, if they stop talking about you, that's when you need to be concerned. But as long as you're in people's mouths, you're relevant. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, either you love me or you hate me. There's really no in between. You know what I mean? But from my work, people really think that I'm certain characters. And for me, it's kind of, you know, separating the two and saying, hey, I'm a real person outside of that. And, you know, I have a life of my own. It's just my work. Really, I just dive into it and I give you everything I have. So that's why it's left such an impression on people, good or bad. But I think anyone dealing with anyone that's hating on them, for the most part, just stay in your lane and keep focused on what you're doing. Not everyone is going to like you. That's not how it works. And it's okay. At the end of the day, I don't want to be liked. I want to be respected. I want to be, you know what I mean? Respected for my work, respected for who I am and what I've contributed to the industry. I don't want to be liked. You don't have to like me. You know what I'm saying? Because like is, you know, it's subjective. Like one day you might like me, another you might not. It just is what it is. So just have tunnel vision. Everybody got to have tunnel vision and focus on themselves and not worry about the next person and what they're doing.
Well said.
Yeah.
What's your favorite scary movie? By the way, Tara says hi and Choice says hi. I'm seeing the chat here.
Oh, hey guys.
We're like everywhere. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So I'm trying to catch the comments, but you know.
Scary movie. Oof.
Do you like horror? Like, do you like scary movies?
I do, but I can only watch them in the daytime, because if I watch it at night, I'm gonna go to sleep with it, and I'm gonna think somebody coming through my wall, or like someone's gonna like try to kill me in my sleep, or like I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really weird. And I always jump and scream at the craziest moments in scary movies, and people be like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "That, like, they came out of nowhere with that. What am I supposed to do?" So,
Right.
you know, I love scary movies. I just can't really watch a lot of them. Like, I can't watch Saw. I can't do it. I'm not trying to watch somebody try to dig into their body to get a key out to unlock themselves from a chain. I can't do it. It's too gruesome. Never mind.
Yeah. I love Saw. I love Saw. I bet you, I don't know if you knew this, if you know this, Daphne, or Choice listening in. Again, honored to meet your acquaintance, Choice. Looking forward to our talk as well.
Yes.
Saw was an independent film. It's an indie film. It's a bunch of ragtag filmmakers and artists that came together and made a film right under the nose of the big studios.
Mm-hmm.
And it blew up. It's one of the best horror franchises of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So with my latest project, that's actually one of the approaches that I like made sure to do my due diligence with. That I like looked up, I figured out that whole process, and I mirrored it. So
Right.
I'm really following in the footsteps of Saw, and again, the Blair Witch Project. Have you ever seen Night of the Living Dead?
Long time ago. Long time ago. I know what you're talking about. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. These people had an idea. They shot it on whatever they had, you know, and they created a phenomenon. They created a franchise. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot to create something. You just have to start somewhere. You know what I mean? It will grow into what you want, but you just have to start. And a lot of people think, oh, I need a big budget, or I need all this equipment. I mean, iPhones cost what you pay in rent every month. So
And
you better use what you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
You know what I ran into a little bit, and again, this all started helping out with my idea of like what's happening in the world. Because I pitch BET almost every other season, love BET, and they said no a bunch of times, but we have a relationship, and all it takes is one yes. But from there, I noticed that Squid Games, super popular film. Remember that meme that went viral about how like it took them 10 years to make?
Yep.
The studio kept on saying no. So I feel as though there's a real kind of renaissance period now where everyone is realizing the studios may not know the next big thing. Like they may not. Do they actually have a history of catching the wave of the iconic trend-setting films while they're happening? And typically the answer is no.
No, because what they're doing is they're looking to the world and social media to make it what it is, and once it blows up, then they want to get on the bandwagon. And that's what I don't like, because if you have something that's super dope in your face and you pass on it, and then someone over here like Bloomhouse, who produces some of the most amazing horror films, picks up on it, and then puts you on. Now here comes the studio saying, okay, we'll give you everything you want now. But I had to go over, I had to go around the mulberry bush to get to what I have now, and now you want to jump on my train, and then it's like, for what? You know what I mean? But Squid Game, yes, like phenomenal piece of work. You know what I mean? Very stressful. It gave me a lot of anxiety, but that's life. It was basically teaching you about life and relationships. Friendships and things of that nature. And so this is something that should have been in our faces a long time ago. But again, it only takes one yes for then everyone to see what you got and then to jump on the train with it. So a no, it doesn't mean no, it means not yet. That's what that means. So it may not be the right fit right now, but they'll come around. They always do.
Amazing.
Yeah. I feel like you're analyzing me right now.
No, I'm taking in the wisdom. You're saying some really great stuff. I value your experience and what you have to say, and you have a lot of insight, and you're in Hollywood, so like you really are living that hands-on experience type of vibe.
Yeah,
and I think it's pretty powerful. You said towards the beginning of our convo, we're almost at 30 minutes, so we're good to go. But you said at the beginning that you were like, this is like a reemerging. And immediately I thought to myself, like a phoenix, right? Like you are this next version of you evolved, more wisdom, still inner and outer beauty, right? But you're coming with all, so much, no problem, so much that you're coming with. And so I'm like, ooh, this is like a really interesting point. And again, I mirror that. I share your sentiment because at this point, as a filmmaker, it's like, all right, I've done my own movies.
Mhm.
I learned a lot. I made those connections, those resources. And now it's like, all right, here's my next big one as almost like a phoenix, reemerging in post-COVID world. And let's see what's going on. How was
Oh,
COVID for you? What was that like?
ooh, so many, so many points to touch on. COVID was rough. I had COVID twice, and then I got vaccinated, which kicked my ass. So I'm just now coming out of that storm because that was a lot to deal with back to back. Um, and I think just the last 2 years for the world has been hard, but for artists especially, because this is our daily life. Being an artist is the most unstable profession in the world. So we're always constantly trying to figure out how we're going to make ends meet, how we're going to pay rent, how we're going to live a regular life and live a dream life, because at some point they have to merge together. Keeping your sanity, making, you know what I'm saying? Just so much that we have to juggle. So COVID really wasn't like a big thing for artists. It was unfortunate that the world shut down and we had this virus, yes, but people were still creating. People were still either taking that time to make themselves better, or they let that situation consume them, and it went left. So it's really important to know that out of a storm there is a rainbow at the end of it. You'll get through everything you're trying to get through, but you still have to remain that artist, and you still have to have that fire that burns in you, because that's what's going to keep you going. Especially when the world is a mess, you have to turn to your artistry and your creativity to say, okay, I'm going to use everything I'm going through and I'm going to make something really dope, and somebody else is going to relate to it, and then it's going to blow up, and the whole world's going to understand that we're all the same. We're all, in the same boat. It's just different scenarios and different circumstances. So it's just really important to understand that, like, artists, it's really hard to be an artist, but we make it work every day. So COVID wasn't like a big shock for us at all. It was just like, okay, now we're isolated, so we can't really be around each other and the community. And so for me, like, Choice had an acting class, and so dope, and it was just a community of artists coming together, working with each other, learning from each other. We were on stage, putting in at work. He was dropping his knowledge and his nuggets on us from his experience. He was making us better people and artists. And then it stopped. So then we had to figure it out on our own, which was the difficult part. You know what I mean? Of like,
Well,
okay, we don't have this outlet anymore. So now we have to figure out how to get this energy and where to put it. You know what I mean? So it's
and
just,
did you work during COVID?
so we did a whole film during COVID. Um,
Wow.
Choice did A New Life during COVID.
So
Um,
during COVID, you basically got a starring role in a film.
yeah,
Incredible.
absolutely. 2020, we did it. I believe it was like started in the summer, finished in October. Um,
So what was
just,
what was like the signing process? So like, did you just jump in? Like, how did he get you on board? Did he send you the script first? You loved the script? Did he like have to holler at your agents and
no choice. No choice. Just was like, I have a role for you, and I said, okay. Choice has always put me in his projects. Every single
oh,
project he's ever done, I've been a part of it in some capacity.
incredible.
And that's what you call, um, just, I don't even know what to call him. That's He's just like, he's like an angel almost. You know what I
Right.
mean? For
A
for me,
mentor.
because when I got here in 2009, he's the first person I met in the game. So
Mhm.
he kind of taught me everything I needed to know and how to maneuver in this town. And then he started his class, and I studied under him, and he was just molding me and shaping me into this artist. And everything he's ever done, he's had a role for me. Whether it was big or small, didn't matter. I just wanted to be on his set to learn and grow and to figure out, like, how he does what he does. So he hit me up and he was like, are you ready to do this? And I was like, let's go. And we got together in 2 weeks and we started the process. And he used a lot of his actors from his class. He uses basically everybody from his class. So that's what he does. He's that much of a dope person to say, I'm going to do a film and I'm going to put everybody in my class in it and give them an opportunity. You understand? Like, who does that? No one in this town does that. So, he's kind of like a unicorn. That's it.
Well
He's a
said.
unicorn.
Well said.
So yeah.
So our final 5 minutes, I like to always kind of go with the idea of like an inspirational message, something you could say to your younger self when they're first young and spry coming into the game. I mean, you're still very young, anyways, but at the beginning stage, rookie you.
Be patient. Be patient and give yourself grace. Yeah. I got to LA and I was like, I'm ready. Spike Lee, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. Like, let's do this. And I thought I was ready, but when I look back on it now, I wasn't. I was so green, and I'm from Chicago, so I'm coming from a theater town into a film and television town, and I have to learn the ropes. You have to learn the process, and there's gonna be times when you're struggling. There's gonna be times where things aren't working out. But give yourself grace and be patient with yourself, because everything's not going to happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Because, and this is the thing Choice always told me, he said, God's not going to give you anything too early because he doesn't want you to mess it up. You understand? He wants you to be able to handle it and keep it going. And so for me, that stuck with me, like, okay, got it. Like, I got to be prepared to, really be in this game heavily and to get these accolades and to, put myself on the map and all that stuff. Like, I have to be ready for that process. Have I had a taste of it? Absolutely. The Fosters was a great taste. Working on Choice's set was a great taste of what's to come. But I'm now learning the patience part and like, okay, cool. I just got to prepare myself. The opportunities will come and I'll be ready.
Well said. Well said. Again, I was really excited about this conversation. There's so much happening around all of us, right? So much happening. And I'm thankful we're able to have a sit down and just make our acquaintance and just
yes. Oh my God. So much. Like, I mean, we can continue this if you want. Go past 30 minutes.
Right.
There's so much to unpack. It's so much to teach people. And I think when you know who you are and you stand in your truth, there is no one that threatens you, or in a sense of like, there's no competition, you know what I mean? Because you can help others. Everybody can win, and I think that's really important to share with the world of like, you blessing somebody else is really only going to bless you more. You know what I mean? And there's room for everybody at the table. And if it's not, create your own table. You know what I'm saying? And then invite people to sit down. That's how I look at life now. It's much different than, I just got to get myself on or whatever. It's like, no, okay, if I can advise you, or if I can give you a little bit of a nugget here and there, cool. If I can watch out for you, make sure you don't make the same mistakes I made, or you don't get caught up in this, crazy city. That's what I'll do, because it's important to make sure that not only do I pass the baton, but also make sure people make it to be able to do what they want to do.
Well said, Daphne. I share the same views.
Yeah.
Same page, 100%.
Yeah. So if there's anything that you need from me as an artist or a person, for your projects, I am here. I can lend a hand.
That's incredible.
Also, but if you ever come to
it's so funny that people always sometimes think about that with locations, because like, if you think about even like Issa Rae, right? She just filmed a movie in Chicago. Like, she's based in like New York, LA, like she's everywhere.
Right.
So when it comes to me, it's like, I have a show called Music and Medicine in San Francisco. This movie called Beast Chain is right now on Kickstarter. Again, we're already funded the minimum amount that we need. We're filming that in Florida. I just did a COVID-19 documentary in Atlanta. So like, my projects are everywhere. I have a movie that's happening in Dallas called Dynasty, and the executive producer, Lioness, she's incredible. So like, I definitely, I'll probably send you the script for Beast Chain, because I think you'd be a great fit in with that film. It's horror though, but you have to be, if you're down, you're down.
I'm down. I want to do all genres. I don't want to be, put into one box of anything. I can do everything. I'm a chameleon.
Right.
So
Yeah.
let's get to work. Let's get to work. That's what I'm like on right
Yeah,
now.
it's exciting. It's exciting.
You know.
So I pitched Bad Robot, and we'll go a little bit longer, but so I pitched Bad Robot, the film, last month. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. And right now there's some names that I've been speaking with, in terms of like some of the pitch meetings and stuff. So it's really exciting time. It's really exciting time.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
have so many projects in the works. You have so much work available, and you're doing so much with what you've created, which is so dope. So yeah, if I can be a part of anything, I would love that opportunity. Just kind of work with you and kind of, read some of your material, all that stuff. You just kind of, connect on that level.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an incredible conversation. I'm so
Thank
thankful for
you.
your time.
Thank you. Yes, I
Yeah.
appreciate it so much. When you hit me up, I was like, really? You want to know what's going on with me? Okay. Where do I
Right.
start? You got enough time? This might be
I was excited because, again, like, I love your work, and the fact that you had enough time that we could talk and text. I'm like, oh, this is incredible that this connection has happened. And I think the icing on the cake, as you saw when I sent you that screenshot, right, of that fan from my side being like, yo, I love her. I'm like, yo, let me send this to Daffany. So I felt comfortable enough to send you that photo of like just one of my friends, right, being like, yo, great person right there. So I think that's everything we needed to see in terms of destiny, right? The right thing falling in front of us.
And that's always a reminder when someone hits me up, either in my DMs or I get something like you sent me. It's a reminder for me to keep going. It's a reminder for me never to give up, because I've done great work and I'm going to do more great work. And sometimes we just get wrapped up in what's going on in life that we forget who we really are as artists. And so that's a great reminder that, like, hey, Daff, like, people know who you are. They're watching and they love your work. And I'm like, ugh. Like, it just fuels my fire. So I really appreciate it. I really do.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, it was a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting and working with you. And, I want to be bi-coastal and tri-coastal and all that. I want to go to New York and Atlanta, all that.
It's easy. They cover your travel and you go. It's real easy. They make it real comfortable.
Right. I can't wait to embark on that for 2022. So yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you for the opportunity. It's been great.
It has been. Okay.